I have a friend who's a fairly serious amateur athlete, and he runs triathlons, usually several over the course of a year. And like anyone committed to what he likes to do, he's evangelical about this thing. It's not enough for him to run a triathlon. He wants everyone that he's friends with to run a triathlon. And I have to admit, I find the triathlon a compelling contest. I like the idea of it being very difficult, of it being a great accomplishment of physical prowess and strength to accomplish such a feat. But I keep explaining to my friend that I'm a terrible swimmer. Not only am I a terrible swimmer, I hate swimming. I've never enjoyed swimming for exercise. I don't mind being in the water and paddling around, but in terms of swimming to exercise, there's nothing I would like to do less than swim. So my friend, he just won't leave this alone. He keeps pushing and pushing to the point that every time we talk on the phone or every time we see one another, we have to visit the discussion of a triathlon. He started pushing back against me. And I keep giving him my standard answer that, I'm a fairly strong runner, long distance runner. I'm becoming a more proficient cyclist. But man, the swimming, it's just not there for me. But this last conversation I had with my friend just last week, he put it in kind of a different way for me. It's really making me reconsider my position. He says that no one is good at all three pieces of a triathlon. No one. He says that usually someone is really strong in one element of the contest, maybe okay in another, but is destined to really struggle with one bit of it. My friend says you need to just embrace the fact that one component is not going to be your bag, and that it's just going to be blood and guts and a struggle to get through it. Now, I find that appealing as well. I mean, when we start talking about hard, pain, ardor, all those sorts of things, I may be in. I may do one next week. And I'm beginning to re-examine my thinking, this idea that you have to be proficient in all three pieces of the contest. Maybe I need to embrace something of a struggle. And I think that's what my friend has really offered me. This idea that you don't have to have command of absolutely everything at every given moment. That some things you can just allow to unfold. My friend is really unique in that he will allow his athletic endeavors to be sort of open questions and will embrace whatever comes. I like to know I can finish what I start. But maybe there's something to be said for being open to the struggle. I suspect that most of us prefer the known, the quantifiable, the certain, and the well-defined to the open-ended, the uncertain, and the potential. Now, sure, if you know where you're going, if you know your end goal, then oftentimes you can navigate with some ease to the destination. But I think if we're myopic about the destination, then we can miss a lot that transpires along the way. And of course, if we're really honest, we know that certain journeys just don't lend themselves to an A to B kind of a process. Some journeys are just different. We have two stories about the journey of life and about struggle in the midst of life in the scriptures this morning. First, we have Jacob in that marvelous and mysterious contest with a man, with an angel, with God. You'll remember that this night of wrestling with God is the night before Jacob is to meet up with his brother Esau. Now, do you remember what happened the last time Jacob was with his brother Esau? No? I feared as much. The last time Jacob and Esau are together, they part ways. And Esau tells Jacob the next time that he sees him, he will kill him. Because Jacob stole the blessing and birthright of Isaac from his father, from his brother Jacob. A little better now? Sort of, thank you. Excellent. So Jacob spends this night in anguish. He spends this night agitated, in great distress and pain, because he knows at dawn he will see his brother, who is stronger, richer, everything better than he is. And he knows that the dawn might just hold his end. So in this contest with God, Jacob is looking for more than mere strength or certainty or even a real sense of the destination. He's looking deep within himself to find out if he has what it takes to meet his brother in the morning. And in the night, wrestling with God, face to face, what no one does in the scriptures, face God. God gives Jacob the strength to put one foot in front of the other, to see his brother, despite the threat of losing life itself. And at dawn, he returns the blessing to his brother, and they part on friendly terms. But it's that contest, it's that struggling in the night where Jacob experiences the transformation, the death of an old self, and the birth of a new self, symbolized by the reception of a new name. No longer is Jacob one who supplants or one who struggles or one who wrangles. Jacob is now Israel, a nation, a people locked into wrestling with God forever, but knowing God face to face. Jesus tells us a parable about another kind of struggle, the search and the quest for justice. We hear about a widow who is dealing with this nasty judge that doesn't want to give her what she wants, and only does so in the final analysis because he's tired of gazing upon her and hearing from her. Now, this judge is not a symbol for God. This interaction is intended to provide a contrast to the nature of God and our relationship with God. The point is, if this widow can annoy a judge enough to receive justice from him, then can't the faithful who are fervent in prayers and in works of mercy. Expect the God of love, predisposed to favor and blessing. Can't we expect to receive blessing and hope and grace from God? This parable is a kind of contrast, recognizing how difficult the world is and how often we don't receive what we want in the world. But we recognize that there is a judge above this world that desires to give us the peace and blessing and grace we long for. In both of these encounters, we see individuals committed to the open-ended prospect of being human and being in relationship with God. But while both characters prevail, they don't really win, do they? Jacob doesn't defeat God. God's not obligated to bless Jacob. But God chooses to give blessing to Jacob as a graceful gift. The judge is not compelled out of a sense of righteousness or justice to give this widow what she wants. But he relents and finds in her favor as a kind of gift, an odd gift, but a gift nonetheless. Neither character earns what they desire, but both are handed what they want as a graceful gift, a promise of life now and life forever. In this life, it seems to me that we know struggle. We know wrestling. Each of us face our own demons that we know best as individuals. And then certain things we share, like the current economic distress that has so marked the last couple of years of our global life. We're in the midst of another election cycle, and few of us can resist being cynical about what is to come. We live in a world where peace is more of a dream than a reality. But I believe in the midst of all of this struggle, in all of this wrestling, something is being born. I believe lives are being changed. Maybe not en masse like some sort of revolution, but maybe in siblings reconciled. Maybe in a widow getting what she needs for life. Maybe in the peace and solace and hope of knowing God that wants to know us face to face. Friends, I believe life is found anew every single day in this contest where the crown of victory is given not to a winner, not to the best participant, but to all who contend, to all committed to the struggle, the life, and the journey. Life is found anew in the contest where the crown of victory is given to all who participate and hold fast. Life is hard. Hold fast.